DK, Donkey Kong, Seth Rogen. Whatever you call this lovable goofball, he's really stuck out in the hearts and minds of fans everywhere. On this episode, I sit down with my friend Badstreet, and we talk about his love for Donkey Kong and how it taught him how to play for play's sake. So grab a banana and some peanuts as we explore Badstreet's core memories.
I really love what you're doing with this concept. I loved it before, but like I think that the interview nature of it is really cool. And also you're a very good interviewer.
Can we take a minute and hype up just this concept? It's wonderful. It's wonderful. You're wonderful as an interviewer.
The questions that you come up with, just the attention to those details, it's so much fun to do.
You tapped into it, and then now I think this formula is great.
I haven't really sat and remembered why I love this game so much.
We've been very happy to meet so many cool, creative, funny people on Twitch.
And this is the natural evolution.
What Sarah's doing is really cool. Yeah, I could talk to Sarah till the cows come home.
Not a lot of people on Twitch are just bringing on other creators just to interview them.
Thank you for having us.
Really, it's been a very healthy thing that you've kicked off in our lives.
When I saw the trailer for just what you're doing with the core memories concept, I mean, I hope you do this again.
This is a great idea. We can't wait to see the rest of core memories.
Having Cartoonia embrace me the way it did was huge.
What do you say, chat? More core memories?
Well, hey man, welcome to an episode of Core Memories.
Yes.
It's so good to have you. Yesterday we played your pick, Donkey Kong 64.
Oh yeah, we did.
Tell me a little bit about Donkey Kong 64 and why it's your favorite, and
So
what it
first
means
things,
to you.
I got a surprise here, but bang, I'm repping the DK tie.
Oh, that's
Because we're
sick.
talking about Donkey Kong 64.
But yeah, that's pretty sick.
I think for a lot of people, when you're a baby and you are playing your brother's or cousin's or whoever's video game console, you're just gonna play the first thing that you see. For me, that was like Cruisin' USA, but eventually, I think the first thing I got was playing Donkey Kong 64, and it was my first platformer, my first 3D game that I was able to do more than 2 seconds in. I loved Donkey Kong because he was a big gorilla, and when you're 5, giant apes are cool, cars are cool,
Yeah.
trains are cool.
Yeah.
So, and I think what really hooked me in as a little baby was the music. I think that's the strongest asset that game has is just awesome music. And as a kid, I was already hooked. So, it was just it was fate. I was a little baby. And the other games were Madden 98 and whatever the hell else my brother bought.
Yeah,
So
those are not
I
baby
just
games.
Yeah, right. So I just gravitated towards Donkey Kong 64. Now I have a confession. I love this game, and every 3-4 years I go back and I play this game. Never in my life have I beat this game because this game is 70 hours.
Yeah.
And when I was 5, I wasn't good at games, and now as an adult, I don't have 70 hours to play DK64 in. But I played a decent amount of it. I still love this game to death.
That sounds like a sick week activity. Like next time you get the flu, just I guess I'm gonna finally beat DK64.
You got you did it the real way with the banana yellow cartridge. No emulators here. I love that.
No, I did do the emulator. I bought the I got physical copies of everybody's games.
Okay.
Well, I could if I could. But yours was 64, so I wanted to get. It's more set dressing than it was.
I like it. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, bro, you mentioned the music, and I gotta say, that grabbed me immediately.
Oh yeah.
It's so good, and it was one of those things where it's I've heard all of these before, but not in this arrangement. Fantastic music. I gotta say.
Yeah, great. So if you like that, you like Banjo-Kazooie, Grant Kirkhope did the score. And then if you like Donkey, dude, come on. So like, I think it's really important. The first sounds you listen to as a child are important.
Ooh.
And so much of Donkey Kong's body of work, like he's Beethoven, is jazz. And it's so jazzy. And I think the reason why I love jazz to this day is because I heard Jungle Japes the first time. And I went back and I played the Super Nintendo games, and those games are so big band, swingy, and jazzy.
Yeah.
And I think like our generation, maybe the generation prior to, will be one of the first ones that really had their taste in music molded by video games, because those are some of the first things you listen to. My dad likes the Beach Boys. My mom likes Cher. I was 5, right? I'm not going to listen to any of that.
Yeah.
But I think like a launching point for a love of music comes from the first games you play. And oh yeah, dude, Donkey Kong. I mean, the DK Island theme is great. Jungle Japes is great. Angry Aztec rips. The whole soundtrack is awesome.
It really does, yeah. And the sound design too is really good. I love it. I love all the little sounds that Donkey Kong makes. You know.
So the sounds are the composer who pitches his shift down, who shifts his pitch down.
Oh no way, really?
So the okay and all that, yeah, it's great stuff, dude. I love it. I love it. And honestly, it's like, I think we all have that game too. I hope we do. Where you don't, because I don't beat this game, but you play the first like 4 hours of it, 5 hours of it, and you get all that childhood warmth directly in your veins, and you go, I don't need to do any more of this. I got it.
I've
got
done
everything.
it. I feel good about myself and my place in the world because I played Donkey Kong 64 again.
Did you go to the hut with the little rat in the jumpsuit with the welder mask?
God, what's his
That's a
name?
banger theme too.
Yeah,
Snively.
Yeah. I did. Yeah, what a neat character. Yeah, Snide. Yeah. He was a cool character.
Sorry.
I accidentally called him Cindy. I don't know why.
Great theme. And it's also like, so that stuff is so important to who you are. Like that early stuff when you can make a friend. So like Cartoon Therapy is here a while ago. We had a thing that like, if we went through a breakup, we wouldn't delete the number of our ex-girlfriend. We would change their name in picture. So I changed one of my ex's names to K Lumsy, which is the giant crocodile with the skull.
Yeah.
Right? And he dances and he opens up part. I think K Lumsy is still in my phone. It's those connections that you make. That matter a whole lot too. So I got so much love for this stupid game.
We should call Kay Lumsey live and just be like, "Hey, you're live, by the way."
Not doing that, but like, cause like, I don't know. You ever get that feeling when an ex calls you or texts you and you see their name and you get that like your heart sinks in the pit of your stomach feeling?
What do they want? Yeah.
Right, that was our way around it. Oh, that person's not calling me. K Lumsey's giving me a ring, and his picture was in there, and he's so it's a lot better.
Yeah, no, that's great. So you mentioned that this was your older brother's game that you got a hold of and played sometimes. Do you have like the first game that was like specifically yours?
So the GameCube was specifically mine.
Okay.
So Melee was probably the first game that I had that was for sure mine. No one could share it. I remember firing up Melee and being like, "You get to play as Bowser." So the GameCube was my first console that belonged to me, but my brother went to high school or whatever, so I was on his crap all the time, and I was playing everything he had. So I mean, I don't know. They gave me Super Smash Brothers, and I played it, and a couple others. Shout out to Glover. Love the glove. Had Glover. So all those dumb games, like they were shared. The GameCube was my own console, and I had Melee, which ripped. The first Spider-Man movie game, played that one a lot.
Pizza Time.
Well, yeah, right. And one of the Need for Speeds, one of them. That was the best Christmas ever.
Oh yeah, Need for Speed Underground, man. That was it. That was the one.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I think that like I kind of had this moment where I was like, oh, I never played a lot of, for whatever reason, I missed Donkey Kong 64. I missed Mario 64, but I had some of the weird like off-brand
Were you a
Uh,
PlayStation kid, or just you skipped that generation?
no, I don't know, for whatever reason I was too busy playing like Legends of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's
Sure.
Mask, and I had Gex, Deep Cover Gecko.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Also, Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was also
Classic.
a rare game.
Big rare guy. Yeah.
Probably shouldn't have been playing that one. You know?
I think I think one of the most precious things is like, what are your first memories with a medium, especially video games? I remember going to my buddy Trevor's house, and he had Turok,
Mm.
where you shoot dinosaurs with guns, and that was my first ever like. Remember he turned to me, he was like, "My dad, we can't play this. This is my dad's game, but they're not home." I was like, "Oh yeah."
That's so cool.
Fire it up, and the game sucks. Right? You're shooting dinosaurs. And
Yeah.
you're like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing. Don't tell anyone we're playing this stuff. So I think like all of that, like, because nowadays we watch so many movies, we listen to so many albums, we play
Yeah.
so many video games, but like your firsts and how your brain is first understanding what a video game is, that stuff's so precious. Which is why I still hold this stupid 3D collectathon in such high regard. I love this game.
Oh yeah. No, I have a very similar experience where we were like visiting some friend of my parents, and they had like an older son, and they had a like gaming PC that he set up like a flight simulator on for me, and it was one of my first video games. And of course, like I just fucking crashed the plane into the ground every time, right? Because I was like 6 or something.
Yeah, right.
But between that and Star Fox 64, which I played the
Sure.
absolute crap out of, I still play with my horizontal stick inverted to this day.
Okay.
Yeah, flight
Okay.
controls on everything. I'm Master Chief, and I'm aiming. I'm pushing down to aim up.
So were you the oldest or the youngest in the family? Where'd you rank out?
So I was the oldest. So I have a sister that's 4 years younger
Okay.
than me.
So I as the youngest, I did a lot of watching as a
Mm.
kid. I watched my brother play a lot of games. I watched him play a flight simulator. I watched him play Max Payne, and that scared me, but I was hooked. So like I think that's also important. And I think like Twitch is this now, right?
Yeah.
But I think like watching is was such a big part of like growing up around video games. But Donkey Kong 64, we didn't watch. We combat rolled into all those beavers.
You got to play. Yeah, the beavers were pissing me off last night, man. It did.
The bees scared me. Did you get to talk about one of the bees? Those guys would scare the hell out of me.
Oh
when I was a
yeah,
kid.
and like I wasn't good enough with the controls to really do anything about them.
Yeah.
Like do you remember having a hard time with the controls when you were
Sure.
younger? Yeah.
Of course. But also like you didn't complain about that.
No.
And like that's the thing. Like I remember getting a fight online with some stranger on YouTube at like 2 a.m. as I couldn't get back to sleep.
That's
and
productive, real productive.
Of course, you gotta stand on your stuff, all right? And so this guy was coming after Banjo-Kazooie's camera controls, and he's probably right. The camera probably sucks in that game. But when you're 5, it's all you have. You get used to it.
Yeah.
So I was fighting for it. I was like, hey man, you weren't there. All right, little bro. You weren't there to pick it up. You didn't understand, and you won't understand.
Yeah.
Go back to Roblox.
You're fighting with some 12-year-old about
Do it,
DK.
man. Absolutely. If the Bears are losing, I'm on Reddit fighting every Bears fan in the subreddit.
You're ready to throw
Right.
hands. No, I
I'm ready.
had a similar situation because I was playing on an emulator with an Xbox controller. So
Okay.
it would give me prompts to like hold the Z, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I
No.
don't have the weird N64 controller, which I actually really like the N64 controller. I know that's
Right.
that's
Love it.
contentious.
No, you're right.
No,
You're
it's good.
correct. Go ahead.
It's good.
This is objective fact. It's the best controller. Maybe next to
It is. Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
It allowed
Yeah,
me
you're
to
right. play
play Star Fox 64 one-handed while I was pounding my cereal before school. Okay? You don't get that anymore.
No. And every controller looks the same now. You know,
It's
Nintendo
true,
was
yeah.
fun. They're like, what if we give this thing just a giant, just horn in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Just make it a 3-pronged, like a shuriken with yellow buttons, and yeah. And then next time, let's make it purple and just crunch everything right in there.
Yeah, just
and it'll be
everything
the
and make
best
it
thing
weird.
you've ever.
Yeah, make it
Yeah.
shaped somehow like a boomerang. That's not
it
very
rules.
functional. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of miss that. I feel like the Switch 2 just lacks a lot of that personality that
Sure.
Nintendo used to have. You
Well, I
know.
think, and that's the thing I think is dying, man. I think like we're getting super homogenized. Is that even
Mm.
the right word? I'm gonna pretend like it is. Where it's like so like the Switch 2 is just it's a PC upgrade. It's a better Switch 1.
Right.
And the Xbox is now the PlayStation, and there's really no difference, and all the same games are on the same thing, and PC
Yeah.
is, like there's no flavor, there's no energy. Did you remember turning on the Xbox, the original Xbox? You ever do that? You were starting up a jet engine. Yeah. And the screens stuff's coming into the top. Yeah, you were
That was
like
so
hacking
cool.
the Pentagon. It was awesome.
Oh man,
And now it's just like all the same.
the Xbox. I was an Xbox kid, and like
Yeah.
when I learned that I could burn CDs from LimeWire and then put those songs on my Xbox and play those while I played video games, it was
Yeah.
over.
I felt like every time I turned it on, I felt like I was hacking the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Like I was in somewhere I shouldn't have been, and there's some futuristic technology, and we're playing NBA Inside Drive, and the graphics look like crap, but I think they're real life. Yeah.
You're kidding me?
That all. Yeah.
I can play Halo Combat Evolved and listen to Pretty Ricky at the same time.
But yeah, like that's the stuff that was like. I also worry about kids now, and I guess Core Memories is turning to me complaining about Gen Alpha, but they're never going to experience what it felt like going from these graphics where you're shooting coconuts and whatever, and you see him. There's DK, and then like you see the fur on DK on the GameCube, and then on the Xbox 360 generation, it's even better.
Yeah.
Like the graphics are all so great right now. They'll never experience how actually serious it felt to go from one generation to the other. I pity 'em. I feel
because I started with the Super Nintendo, so
Yeah.
getting N64 games, I was like, it looks so real.
Yep. Well, it's like so. I'm a big dork, and I play games in release order. Like I go, I'm doing the whole thing. So now I'm doing Metal Gear Solid. I beat 2 just recently, and the jump from 1 to 2, I could replicate that. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Now I can do
Yeah.
all this extra stuff. Look at Snake, he looks great. Anyway, that's never gonna be there anymore, and I feel bad. I feel bad for the kids on their iPads because they'll
No.
never know what it felt like.
I like that, and I think like it's hard to get into a series, like a long running series, and start from like the newest one. Like for instance, I just downloaded Dragon Quest 11, right?
Okay.
And it's just like I've never played a Dragon Quest before, but that's the newest one. I'm not gonna go back and play, Dragon Quest 3 or whatever.
Sure. No, and like, and that's a part of it is like I have been slowly going through the Zeldas and noticed the feeling of every single one, and it's great. Everyone tells me stop what you're doing and just play Breath of the Wild. It's the best one,
Right.
and they're probably right. But I don't want to miss what was years of hard work by the programmers and the developers to make this cool thing that was done with love, just because the controls kind of suck. And it's a little limited in this, and that instance. I don't know, but I'm an old man now, so I get why.
Do you find that like you get greater appreciation for the newer games like that?
Sure, yeah, because you see what they're. Metal Gear Solid is the best way to do it, because Metal Gear Solid 1 is the same thing as the game that came before it.
Yeah.
But you could see what they wanted to do, but couldn't do it until they tried again. And that's how I feel with like Zelda 2 is a big. A lot of the items that you have in Ocarina of Time, you had in A Link to the Past and the other ones. You can see what they wanted to do, what they tried to do, and now it gets more realized and more realized. And with I think especially games that had the same developer every single iteration, you get the idea of, oh yeah, we are more and more realizing the vision they had 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I totally appreciate that. And as this was my first 3D Donkey Kong game.
It's 1 or 2.
Well, like Bonanza now, right? Bonanza.
Yeah, it's 1 or 2. Yes.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right.
Look, my guy Donkey Kong had a tough go with things, all right, and I love him. And when Bonanza came out, it was like my Christmas. I didn't call in, but I worked around it, and I only played Bonanza for months.
Yeah.
It was a tough go because look, this game came out, and people hate this game. people who don't know what they're talking about hate this game because
Really?
there's too many items and the collectathon is too bad and it's too bloated. Shut up. Appreciate art. Because after this game, the bongos came in, which, hey, it's a good Midwestern champion on my show. But in real life, the bongos were a struggle, right? Donkey Konga was not that fun.
Right.
It was a rhythm game, and then they made a brawler, which was kind of fun, but forever tied to these giant bongos.
Right.
And then they had a racing game, which sucked.
Yeah.
And then they went back to their 2D roots, which were good. 2 games that they released 7 different times, Returns and Tropical Freeze.
Right.
And then there was a 10-year period where my guy was iced out until Bonanza came
Where
out.
there
So it was
was
a real
no-
celebration.
All you got was Seth Rogen.
I didn't watch the movie, to be honest. Oh, and Marge raised a good point. Diddy Kong Racing also ripped. Great game.
Okay,
Shout out
yeah.
to WizPig.
Okay, so there was like a Donkey Kong Racing, and then there was Diddy Kong Racing.
No, there was just Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Donkey Kong Racing is Mario Kart, like technically. Yeah.
I see. Okay,
Diddy Kong
okay.
Racing ripped, and there was boss fights in the racing game, and it ripped. Shout out to WizPig. Shout out to Raj the elephant. That game rules.
Okay.
But it was tough for us out here. For Donkey Kong heads, it's tough. You got a couple really good 2D platformers. This work of art where you're jumping up and down a vine over and over again.
Yep.
And
Fell a
then
lot.
radio silence. So.
Yeah, the with I had an experience with this where I was like, man, DK just has a lot of personality. He has like a lot of personality that I didn't expect from the game. Whereas like I kind of expected Mario level of personality. Like, he's Mario. He's the flagship. But like, who even is Mario, right? Like, what is her personality traits? I can't name one, but like, even from one game, I was like, oh, DK is like he's kind of a chud a little bit.
Okay, so DK's got attitude. That's my. So I think by being a product of the '90s,
yeah,
DK's got a lot of tude. All right, and it's dated now and old and not cool. But damn it, so am I, and I'm still living. And so is Donkey Kong. Yeah. So like, look, like at the beginning of the game that really reinvented him, Donkey Kong Country 1, he swings in with a boombox and then starts dancing. Like he's cool. But he's never cool. And like when you're picking DK, the game starts with the DK rap, right? Like the whole thing is dated and lame and not cool. And because he wears that so proudly, to me and the other Kong heads out there, he's cool.
Yeah,
and
he
if
loops
you go
back
in the
around to
tag,
being cool.
Yeah. If you go in the tag barrel and you just kind of let him sit there and you don't select him, I would do this all the time because when you were a kid and had no internet and had just one game or whatever, you'd play it to death. And he would just go like, yeah, cool, okay. And he'd like blow his shoulder off, right? And it's kind of like Bob, because he's not cool, but that's the 90s. And I think
he's kind of cool. I think Diddy is also pretty cool. I like his little dance.
Did you get as far as the jetpack? Did you get to that point yet?
I did, yes. Yeah, I got the jetpack. That was so fun.
Pistol. Awesome.
Oh,
Did
yeah. He pulls out the guns akimbo like he's John Wick, and I was like, wait a second.
Fun fact, Rare first gave all those monkeys real guns. And they were in the game. And then I think like Miyamoto came by and was like, hey, don't put guns in the monkey game.
We can't
And then
do
Rare was
that.
like, all right,
Fine.
I guess we can't give DK a shotgun. So they made it fruit.
So then they took all the guns and put them in Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, pretty much. But look, like that's what makes Donkey Kong so great is like they were unafraid. Nintendo has this like bubble wrap around all their IPs, right?
Yeah.
You mentioned Mario. Dude's been in 70,000 games.
Yes.
Dude loves jumping and going wahoo and winning the game. That's all you know. Luigi's afraid, but that's about it. There's nothing really else personality-wise.
Yeah.
Like, because this was developed by a bunch of British guys who weren't Nintendo, and Nintendo didn't care about Donkey Kong, they're like, whatever, yeah, give Diddy a guitar, give Donkey Kong bongos, and let him shoot a gun, and whatever. Let's get a rhino, let's get a giraffe in there, let's get an ostrich in there, screw it.
Yeah.
And, like, because they were unafraid to take those risks, and because he's surrounded in a company where these IPs are usually timeless, I think that makes Donkey Kong stand out a little bit more.
Man, I love that. It sounds like you really do appreciate the series as a whole and the like love and dedication that they put into it.
I'm a Kong head. Shout out, there's a Donkey Kong podcast, DK Vine, where it's like two dudes that love Donkey Kong. They get like 6 views. Like it's not a popular podcast. There's a couple of us. There's a couple Kong heads out there. And that's my guy. It's I think we all very closely protect the things that mattered a lot to us when nothing mattered. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When we were just little kids and we didn't understand anything and this mattered and there was something there that I think goes unsaid.
Yeah.
Why do I love Donkey Kong? Was it just because it was the only game? No, because I had Madden, right? There was something else there about his design and his style and how he carried himself and how fun and biting all the designs were that just spoke to you when you didn't speak a lot because you're 5. And I think like I am not a they put girls in the Ghostbusters? My childhood's ruined kind of guy. That's not who I am.
Right.
And you can take Donkey Kong and you can make him be the bongos guy or whatever. Nothing will ruin, I think, the most pure connection you have as a kid when you decide this is my favorite now. I love this. And wrestling is like that too. I was a wrestling fan around the same age I was a Donkey Kong fan.
Yeah.
So I think it all matters.
I think there is something to be said to that where like when you decide that you like something as a kid, you like it. Like you are ride or die for it. And I feel like some of those things we grow out of, but others we never do. Or maybe we come back to,
Yeah, look, I mean, Isabella has asked me many a times on many Sundays where she goes, Alec, just like a different football team. And I go, no, I'm a Bears fan. And they've lost every game of my life, and they're going to lose every game of my life until I die. But there's just a bit of it's blind loyalty, for sure.
Yeah.
And a bit of it's just like staying true to who you thought you were at a certain age. But also, like, you don't get that connection anymore when you grow up.
Right.
You like things now based on other stuff. You know, you like things based on aesthetics or the ego and the person you've built yourself to be. Nothing is more pure than when you decide what football team's going to break your heart for the next 70 years of your life, what games you're going to love and play over and over again.
Yeah.
And like that is, I think, honestly, like I think when you're 5, to a degree, I think that's you when you're your purest, and I think you need to protect that. People say inner child or whatever. I'm not sure if that's the same thing, but to me, it's just you when you are just at your purest and most uninfluenced. And damn it, I love that ape.
No, I love that. And, that got me thinking about how I think like as adults, it's really easy to like really love something and then it have one flaw and you kind of hold on to that and go like, yeah, well, it sucked anyway. So, have you ever experienced that where you like maybe were really into a series or really into something and they just did not stick the landing, in your adult life and was like, you know what, I'm not a fan.
So yes, I'm glad we brought this up. The game that like walked me through adolescence was Grand Theft Auto 4.
All right.
That came out when I was in like middle school. And the character was from a European, like a Balkan country. My family was all from a Balkan country.
Yes.
And like I played the hell out of Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah.
I loved the environment. I loved their version of New York. I loved all the characters. I loved how grounded and how serious it was. And the game genuinely had a message. Revenge is bad is pretty much the message of the game. And it was just the perfect storm. I was swept up by it. And I played it 3-4 times. I went back and I played it was my first GTA. I went back and I played the old GTAs, and they were fun, but they didn't catch me like 4. But now I'm a freshman in college, and GTA 5 comes out, and I'm like, all right, here we go, the next one. I know everything about 4. Here we go, and the characters do not stick. And I'm torturing a guy in the first 3 hours, and like, Trevor's annoying. I don't care. And like all of a sudden, like, the charm and the value that I took from it when I was in middle school It wasn't there when I was in college, and you know, to me, it didn't stick the landing. I'm sure if I was maybe in middle school when 5 came out,
Yeah.
maybe it would hit me as hard as 4 did. But like,
Yeah.
I will never forget like. If anyone knows GTA 4, the first time you robbed that bank and you escaped the cops, I remember like holding my controller like, I can't believe we just did that. That was awesome, right? Or you get to the end and the whole game you're trying to kill a guy. That's the only reason why you're in Liberty City is you're trying to get revenge on a guy, and you get to him and he's miserable and sad, and killing him doesn't solve anything, and then you learn that. And I don't know. Anyway, all that is to say, yes, and you know. When I was at that age, when I played 5, I was like, oh God, like this sucks. Like it's not nearly as good. And I still have never beaten 5. But I also understand that media, your relationship with media is all dependent on who you are and when you access it.
When you
so
access
I
it,
was
that's
a freshman in
huge.
college and I was trying to get a degree and do other things. And I wasn't in need of a life lesson that Grand Theft Auto 4 gave me. So maybe that's part of it, but yeah, no. The what I took from 4 and what I took from 5 are incredibly different.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I actually had a very similar experience with 5, where I just wanted to play Franklin the entire time because Franklin was from Grove Street, which is where CJ from San Andreas was from. And I was like, I just want to relive my memories of playing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas instead.
Yeah, no, I remember like I restarted it like 3-4 times, and I'm always calling the people and I'm trying to go bowling or whatever.
Yeah.
Because in 4 you went bowling all the time, and if you go bowling with Roman 20 times, you have a real heart-to-heart conversation, and it ties that whole character. Anyway, it's just like the game didn't ask me to play it that way, and how could I not when I loved the one before it so much? So, you know, I will say though, Bonanza, blew me out of the water. If I know the Switch 2 sucks, it's so expensive and all that.
Yeah.
I tried so hard to come into Bonanza without 64 or returns or any goggles, and it was so good, dude. So sometimes it pays off, and it was 10 years worth of wait.
Yeah. Do you feel like your like familiarity and connection with the series really helped you love Bonanza, or like would you still love it regardless?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So like Bonanza has fossils in each level, and they're enemies from older games. And, they have remade levels with songs from older games, and if I'm not gonna touch the ending, even though it's a half-year-old game because it's so good.
Yeah.
But oh man, I was yelling at my TV. I think it was. I had just finished up one of the big Bad Street pay-per-views, so I had blocked off all of Tuesday to do it, to finish the game. And I remember just shouting at my television at like 9 in the morning. Yeah, and like that's the great stuff is the
Shouting
stuff that
happy,
takes you
shouting
back.
like, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Like unbelievable. What's happening? This is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff of why I say all that early stuff is so important, because it lays dormant in you forever.
Yes.
And you go on and you experience. Is Donkey Kong 64 the best game ever? No. Is it top 100? No. But it matters so much to me for its specific reason. So I think anything that can reawake that. And that's why I'm so jealous of you. I think people who got into Zelda early, every 6 years, they go right back into that world and it's ready for them, and they're so excited to do it. Whenever you can reawake and meet that 5-year-old back a little bit, it is nothing like it. But,
even
to say,
even then, I kind of I put Zelda and Pokemon down for quite some time. You know, I picked up, I was like, oh no, like it's Master Chief and Kratos now. I don't give a crap about, you know, Why do I care about Pikachu? I've got aliens to kill or whatever, but you always end up coming back.
You know what I had? Did you have a Hey You Pikachu when you were a kid?
I did, yeah.
That game sucked, right?
Yes, it did. Yes. I
remember being 4. I remember it was like the little balloon and the little bubble, like, hey, Pikachu, you stink. And it would go to him, and he would look confused. and that was the whole game. One time, and like there was a timer on the day, and
Yeah.
and you're just hanging out with Charmander, and you can't get Pikachu to take a left turn. So
Yeah.
the whole time Pikachu's looking at that game sucked. But anyway,
No, I
yeah.
distinctly remember I didn't have the game, but one of my friends did, and they brought it over.
Okay.
And we tried to play it. We tried to have fun with it, and it just wasn't it. So we went back to killing each other in GoldenEye.
Makes sense. Yeah, the Halo Pikachu sucks. It's a bad game.
Yeah.
But like all of that stuff is so precious, and I think it's tough to go back often. I don't know if you have that feeling where it's like, I would probably fire up Donkey Kong 64 in a
Mhm.
year or 2 years from now, and then I'm not touching it for another half decade. And if I have a child and they want to play a Donkey Kong game, we're going right to Bonanza.
Yeah, you're going right to Bonanza. Yeah. No,
You gotta experience your stuff too.
No, I totally agree. Like, as much as I like loved, lived, and breathed Ocarina of Time when I was a kid, I don't want to play it now.
Sure.
Yeah, it is, and like I think I've experienced this in my adult life is that like I'm seeing games through the lens of games now, whereas I didn't do that when I was a child. I didn't have I don't know, I just didn't contextualize it as like, oh, this is a game and this is how you win games and this is how you play games. I was more into like the role. I was Link. I was like in the world.
Yep.
And so it's harder to go back and not see the like gamified systems of those now.
Yeah. Look, like I would lay in my bed as a little kid, and I'd imagine all of the Pokemon that I caught on my team sleeping
Yes.
in my room with me.
Yes,
It was-
I know.
Yeah, you say thing? Yeah, like it was. You wouldn't play games to beat them.
Yeah.
You were playing, and I think, ooh, you got me going on kids these days. I think that's so important. And I was playing Barbies with my niece, and she's 4, so excuse her for not playing right. But like, we were at the Barbie dream house, and she just kept giving all the Barbies baths. And I'm like, this is not. Do you know what play is?
Yeah.
It's immersing yourself and seeing what you can do and not caring if you lose or whatever, and not caring what the rules are. You're playing. So I sent the horse down the slide at the dream house, and then I sent the car down the slide at the dream house. And I'm just trying to play. I'm trying to show her like, just experience this.
Yeah.
See what you can do. See what you like. See what you don't like. And like, I don't remember beating video games until I was like 10.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't beat games. I just played them. And that's the point. Honestly, it's like when you reach a certain age, the magic dies. It's like Santa Claus. Like eventually you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. But the most fun I think you ever have playing games is when you're playing the game.
Yeah.
You're not trying to complete it or get an end goal or collect all these things. You're just kicking all the beavers' asses in the rainy thing for 7 minutes, and you don't care. You don't care what the banana is. You're just trying to roll the beavers over, right?
Yeah.
You're going in the rhino, and you're seeing how far the rhino can get out of the box.
Uh-huh.
And you're trying to break all the walls. Who cares? Like, and that's what Zelda does so well is it explores it rewards that exploration.
Yeah.
But man, like I couldn't read. You kidding? No, I'm just playing, and like that
Yeah.
to me is the most precious. I think if we're talking core memories, I think most of your core memories are made when that is your view towards the game.
I love that because again, like you said, you're not trying to beat the game. You are just
No.
trying to play the game. And yeah, I think the first game I remember beating. Like I probably beat other games before that, but the first one I remember watching the credits roll and going like, "Wow, I did it." There was okay, there was Halo Combat Evolved. I remember beating that one. And then
Okay.
I remember beating and I was a little older at this time, but I remember beating Kingdom Hearts.
Sure.
And then,
Okay.
you get to the end and spoiler alert, you don't save the day, right? Like you kind of do, but
You do right? You shut the door. Kingdom Hearts is light. Ansem goes away, right?
yeah, but then like Riku is still gone.
Oh, you're right.
with Mickey
You're
and all
right,
that.
okay.
And I remember beating that.
Yeah.
And my parents had been at the lake that day, and they had a cooler, and I went and I stole and I drank my first beer after beating Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, you know that I thought I had him, and then he became the giant half man, half beast.
I
Brother.
know. And I'm just sitting there outside, like just watching the sunset as fucking When You Walk Away is playing in my head, and I'm sipping.
It's heavy, man. I love it. You know, it's like the first game I remember beating is the Spider-Man 2 movie game.
Okay, yeah.
And I remember whatever. They told me you're done now. You beat the game. And I was like, oh, that's how that goes. I beat this. Well, and I think a part of being a kid around Blockbuster time means you never beat those games.
Yes.
You were just messing around when you were a little one.
Yeah.
I remember beating Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, and having a similar feeling. Because spoiler alert, Shadow dies, man.
Oh, fuck.
Well, he doesn't die. He's gone for 2 seconds.
But you know, dies,
like,
yeah.
And that's also where I have like a bit of fondness to that stuff. Because Sonic tried Mario, we're in loopy haha wahoo land.
Yeah.
Sonic's got guns, dude. People are dying, and to have that first connection with media in a serious way, I think is valuable too. Whereas there's stakes, you know what I mean? And it's not all happy-go-lucky. Glover has the ball and he's beating the witch or whatever the hell happened to Glover. But yeah, no, I think beating games, it's like a toothpaste tube thing. Once you do it, the original magic of games goes away. And of course, there's magic in games that you can beat, and you should actually play games to beat them. But nothing like being a kid and just exploring, you know, when the time is yours and nothing really matters and who cares.
Yeah.
I think back to a big part of this was Halo 3 was my first big multiplayer game.
Yeah.
And my brain was all Slayer, King of the Hill, all that stuff. But I would play with Tony and Vince, and we would go into group chats and we would just goof around and not try to win the game. And that reminded me of the fun. This is what I want to say. So my brother had an Xbox and we played Combat Evolved.
Yeah.
And I would eventually beat Combat Evolved. What do I remember better? Do I remember beating Combat Evolved for the first time? Or do I remember when Trevor and I kept killing each other on Valhalla over and over and over and over and over again? Or the second level of the game, whatever it was called. Do I remember? Of course I remember that one.
You remember that one, yeah.
Of course I remember trying to kill Captain Keys and get out of there in one piece. That is video games. And like, that's what I gravitate so much more to than like, if someone goes, and there are some valid reasons, but if I hear someone go, yeah, the game wasn't immersive, and the graphics weren't like this, and the music wasn't like this, I think you're playing the game for the wrong reason. I think, get out of here. I don't want to hear it. I think if you can't play a game for graphics or whatever, I don't know what you're doing. I don't want to talk to you about video games.
Then it's not a game, right? You're more worried about the movie experience. And you know, to go back to your earlier point about how like people are saying like, well, you have to backtrack so much and do this. That's value. And when you're a kid and you only have 3 or 4 games to pick from, and you have to beg your mom like, oh, please, can I have a new game? Like having to put in, you know, 70 hours or whatever to get everything in the game is that's value. And it's not tedium. I think our time has either, you know, as adults or because we live in this like modern, you know, world where everything is so bite-sized and small, it feels like our time is more commoditized than ever, even for children. And it's nice to remember a time in which you could just spend all day beating one level and feel good about that.
Excellent point. It's tedium if there's a goal you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
It's not tedium. I'm the embodiment of tedium. So here's a fun fact. The Tarzan N64 game kind of taught me how to read. And I'm not kidding, because I would do the first level and there were like subtitles and words around things, and then I'd be too afraid to play the second level. So I just played the level I knew over and over and over. And Kirk's yelling at you and you see the words. Tedium is when you want to accomplish or expect something of it. And I'm not saying like enjoy every video game given your way. Games cannot catch you. But when you're a little kid, who cares, man? Like, you're living in that world. I know where every stupid banana is in this Angry Aztec level. I know where they all are. I know exactly where you are. I know where that warp pipe or the banana teleport thing goes.
Yeah.
And that's not because I was forced to live in that world. It was because I love
You wanted to.
that. I love being in that experience, you know? I finished Metal Gear Solid 1 and I went, I'm playing that again. We gotta
Yeah.
do that again. That was awesome. You know what I mean? And there's backtracking in it. I think tedium is I think when you are expecting something that you didn't get, it's tedious. But I think if you can just enjoy yourself in a world, and I guess I would encourage people who are hanging out with us to do that just a little
Yeah.
bit more. I would fire up your old game and I would say, don't try to just to beat it. Goof around, see what you can get away with.
Yeah.
Jump up walls, mash the same buttons over and over again. Entertain that kid in you just a little bit more, because I
Yeah.
think like that's what playing is. We used to play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Okay, that was the game that took everyone over. We all had our Mountain Dew gamer fuel and we were all whatever.
Yeah.
But me, Juice Springsteen, and a couple other guys, we had a couple things that we did
Yeah.
because it was fun. We would go to the airport level, and the goal was put a ghillie suit on and crawl on your tummy and crawl to the burger place. And it would never work. But you know what happened? You would see someone else's kill cam of them running and then seeing two idiots with ghillie suits trying to go, and they would light us up. Right? Or we would like throw smoke grenades at the floor and pretend to be high. Like, oh, dude, this is crazy. Can't believe this. Or Tony's favorite thing would be to run up in the action and shoot the floor with a bazooka and die. Like,
yeah.
and I'm going to always remember that so much more than my KDR or when I got the UAV
Yeah.
or whatever, or the nuke. Who cares? Play the game. And that's the kind of guy I am. I'm impossible to play some games with if you're trying to play the game, because I'm just trying to have fun and goof off, and I'm
Yes.
trying to see what I can get away with and see what your reaction is to it.
Another rare game that I like, that philosophy straight up was Sea of Thieves for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just I have friends that are super into it, super into the objective, super into everything, and I would play with them, and they would be like, "Oh, where's Sorrow again? Oh, he's, up in the crow's nest playing his instrument for the 40th time." Yeah, sure. And it's so fun. I got thrown in the brig more than I should have, but it was
Right.
super fun to just kind of, annoy them.
It's great. You kidding? The thing that I do kind of with still to this day with like Tony and Vince and my buddy Mike is we'll play a lot. Tony and I still play a lot of Team Fortress 2. That's my
Yeah.
game to the very end. I don't know where the heavy is. I got DK right here. Don't worry, he's still here. But
Hey.
the heavy's somewhere. I think Pepper knocked him over. And we'll play like 7 rounds seriously, and then we'll be engineers and we'll go hide somewhere and we'll dance, and then we'll like hit the button that we kill ourselves in, and then we hit the floor.
Yeah.
And we'll do that for the rest of the time. Or we'll just be annoying. And I think if we polled people, what are your favorite gaming memories? I'm sure there are some serious ones.
Yeah.
But I'd argue you have a really good time if your favorite memories are so much more you not even trying for the objective and either
Yeah.
having fun with your friends or having fun on your own,
Yeah.
than you just beating the game in this fashion and experiencing the game the way it was written. Games
Yeah.
are meant to be played, and man, did I play a lot of this dumb one and this song, and Angry Aztecs theme rips. So that's why I picked it. That's
It
why I
really
would pick a
does,
game
yeah.
that I never finished.
No, I totally agree, and I feel like what you're describing a lot is making your own fun, which it seems that like sometimes I have a hard time with in video games as an adult. I'm like, okay, what's the objective? What do I got to do? Great, okay, I did it, fantastic. But there are those games out there, like for instance Minecraft, that are just, hey, go
Yeah.
do. And if you find something that, if you can make your own fun and you can do it, great. If you can't, find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Something else.
RimWorld,
And-
that's
and-
another
and-
one.
Yeah, those games are great, and I it's funny enough that like the way I can appreciate it. I've played a little bit of Minecraft. I never fully got into it. Same with RimWorld, but I get it. I
Yeah.
look at that and I go, yep, that's a giant sandbox where you have fun with what you do.
Yeah.
The way my brain works, and I think this works creatively too. I need a direction to go into. So I need a little structure to know. I need rules to know that I can bend them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And like I need to know like what are the limits? What does this game expect from me, and what can I get away with? How can I move some things around?
Sometimes restrictions breed creativity.
I think like every main event promo I've ever cut, I have a ton of restrictions.
Yeah.
All I have is some voice lines and video game footage, and now I gotta go.
Yeah.
I need to like have a couple blocks, and then I can play with what it is. And this is just strictly who I am. It's harder for me to create something from scratch.
Yeah.
It's way easier to start with an idea, and then we add the enhancers, and then this would be cool. Let's try this. This would be great. This would be cool. And that's how my creative process works. So those are the games that really speak to me.
Did you ever, when you were younger, did you know what you wanted to do when you grew up?
Good question. Yes and no. I knew I was a yapper, and I knew I talked a lot. But when I was a kid, I didn't think about it much. I think every kid was going to be a player for the Bears or the Cubs or whatever local sports team there was. And then you look in the mirror and you realize you're a pasty, 6-foot, unathletic Greek, and you go, "That's not going to happen." And I think I always had a love for speaking and presenting and performing.
Yeah.
But I tried theater, and that wasn't for me. Some nice people in that department, but that wasn't for me. I tried doing speech team, and that was kind of my thing, but not really. In college, I did stand up for a couple of times. It was fun, and I don't think I was bad, but it wasn't my thing. But it wasn't until I started doing student radio that I was like, oh yeah, this is fun. And I did student TV, and I interned at TV stations, and I started broadcasting. And I think that kind of echoes what I was saying a little bit earlier. I knew what I liked, but I needed to have those blocks. I needed to know, okay, in the confines of broadcasting, you can't swear, but there's also this and this and this you can't do. But you can do this, and you can have some fun, and you can throw jokes in here too. So I think that echoed kind of how my brain works.
Yeah, no, I asked that because I know when I was younger, I had just the biggest issue of like, okay, what do you want to do? Pick now. You're in high school, and college is next, and you got to pick, or you won't, or you just won't, and like that is so daunting. That's so daunting. Of like, okay, what is it you want to do for the rest of your life? I know you don't know what all's out there, but like, just pick something.
Yeah. I think it's like I think it kind of echoes what we're saying to a point where it's like you just gotta find what you like and play.
Yeah.
Find what you like and start having fun with it. And I think finding what you like is as simple as I love making something.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, right? Okay, do I love making birdhouses? No. Do I love making walls? Am I a mason? No. But do I love making this? It's like, I think it's as simple as I love blank. I love the feeling I get when I do what. And I think like, it's so less of, well, I love race cars. I want to be a race car driver. I'm not sure why that's what I picked. And so much more like, I love the idea of organizing data. I think that's great. There are 70,000 things you could do. Start playing. And I think to a degree, video games teach you that.
Yeah. No, I do too, and I kind of feel sorry for the generation that video games didn't stick with, like maybe our parents, I feel sorry for people that don't get it, with games.
I think like it's such a active, constantly demanding medium. You have to be a part of it. Now there are some games you can kind of tune out and flip out, but TV is something where you turn on and you stop paying attention halfway through. I have to keep playing the last 2 scenes because I wasn't paying attention. Movies, the same thing. Music is great. I love music, but I think like video games kind of teach you to a degree, like, and it's so innocuous, you never notice it. But they teach you the idea of you can do what you want, and things are going to react a certain way, and some things aren't going to go your way.
Yeah.
And a lot of things are going to crash and burn, but you can always try again, and you can try a different way.
And I think it's a great medium to learn consequence from as well.
Yeah, and problem solving.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
shoot Captain Keys, all right, you got to fight. What I mean?
Exactly. That brings me to a wonderful point, is that if you had to convince somebody that's not into games at all to play Donkey Kong 64, if it was their first game, how would you do that?
Oh, it's hard because the first person I imagine is Isabella, and there's no way she'd sit with it. God, this game is tough. Bonanza is an easier sell.
Yeah.
I would say, you know what? I wouldn't say anything, and I would just let the Donkey Kong rap. pick us up.
If you're not
And
in
I
by
would-
the Donkey Kong rap, then I don't know what to tell you, man.
I would play it and I would go, this meant the world to me 25 years ago. And then I would just leave the crumbs there and see if they can pick it up and figure out how it meant the world to me. And it probably wouldn't work. This is
Yeah.
not. I think professional wrestling fans have the world's biggest problem. How do you tell people you like this? And I think it's the same problem with Donkey Kong 64 because the the age is showing, and if
Yeah.
you've never played it, you will get something out of it. But it's a daunting task if someone is trying to complete the objective. So I guess to wind it down, I would say try just to goof off in this. Don't
Yeah.
try to beat the game. I never did. See what's out there for you.
Yeah, no, I completely, I love that. And I think that like, if you're so used to like modern conveniences, it's really easy to go like, wait, I have to run back and switch characters. Are you kidding me? There should be, I even said this. I was like, if they ever remake this, they need a button to where I can just switch the character. But like,
I don't know why they did that at all. Yep.
but you're robbing yourself of some of the game in doing so.
True. It's like, here's the thing. It's like people always are big into reintroducing the idea of boredom. When you're glued to your phone, I hear people say, like, you are meant to be bored. And
Yes.
it focuses you and all that. I think there's something to that. If they ever brought this one out, if they ever dragged this one out of the Nintendo Vault and they had a Z button swap, I wouldn't object.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, when you're a kid, none of those moments are wasted.
No.
None of those moments are dumb because you don't have A, games to compare it to, and B, like, this is just the experience, and you don't know any better, and there's no internet. And I think a big part, so like this game came out, and then 10 years afterwards, everyone's like, Donkey Kong 64 sucks, it killed the collectathon, everything sucks, yada, yada, yada. And then like enough people say it, and that changes everyone's mind, and the game gets nickel-backed, and all of a sudden it's a bad game. But I think like, and that's where I feel bad for the next generation, is if you go on the internet,
Yeah.
like, you are gonna have your opinion kind of tainted, no matter what. And sometimes the internet will get you to really good games, but there's no longer an experience where I'm defending Donkey Kong 64 on the playground because someone made fun of it. This is that scene from Happy Gilmore, right? But or not Happy, I'm sorry, Billy Madison.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Have you ever had a moment where like you really like something, whether it be a show, a movie, video game, and then you go to the internet to see if other people agree with you? Why do we do that?
This is the game. So it's like, because you know what? It's because I'm so full of myself. And I'm like, my taste is perfect. I want to hear about how good Donkey Kong 64 is. And I kick the feet up and I'm like, talk to me about Jungle Japes.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, the collectathon is 70,000 bananas and it's impossible to 100% and the game takes forever. This backtrack. And I'm like, all right, well, you suck.
You're right. Clearly wrong and I'm right. And
right.
I don't know why anybody watches you. Yeah.
Right. You're right. Your take is wrong. I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'll get in fights with anybody. And I'm never afraid of a fight. Physically, I'm horrified. I'm not a strong person. But online, I'm never afraid of a debate because I will stand on what I grew up on. And am I going to tell you that this game is perfect? No, you've been running around in these tunnels for like a half hour, and I don't know if you got anywhere just yet.
I didn't know. I just ran around and talked to chat pretty much.
But am I going to say that this is awesome and is foundational to who I am? I'm also not going to say that because it's not an argument, but I'm going to make up arguments that dress that up, and I'm going to be fighting for it. You got to stay on your business, is what Mom Boy says. Absolutely.
Yeah. You got to, and like obviously, you'll be able to out-talk anybody on the internet or anybody around. So why would you not, right?
I can talk more than them. I'm making good points half the time. But thank you for the compliment.
No, so obviously this game really just means so much to you, and it sounds like it was like foundational to like.
Yeah.
Who you are, how you play now. I like to ask everybody this. I feel like I already know the answer, but if you have a magic lamp and you're able to erase your memory of this game and play it for the first time now, would you do it or keep it as is?
No,
Yeah.
no, I would not do it because I
Yeah.
would not finish the game. I get stuck at the second level, and I would go, I gotta go to work.
Yeah.
No, this thing is completely perfect in my brain, and
Yeah.
I fully know that if the times I sit down and I play it again, I'm not gonna delude myself. I fire it up and I go, yeah, there's cracks here.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
the best game design. What were they doing here? But that also will never erase what that meant to me and who I've been and who I am. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you want to be, I don't know, a cowboy or something. There's some aspect of why you loved cowboys that's still alive and well as you and with you as an adult, and nothing will erase that. Is it logical? No, you're not. Where are you gonna be a cowboy? But there's something about that that is still true to who you are. I wanted to be a football player. Was it logical? No, man. I can't put any weight on, but I can broadcast it.
Yeah.
And
You found it.
I never want to taint the memories I have. This part's the best. When you got to feed the giant blue guy the bananas, nothing like that.
So
Just the
I
dumbest
gotta
thing.
say, having them directly in your ear, you know, because like I imagine this was on a freaking CTV when you were a kid. But
Yeah.
when they're directly in your ear with high fidelity earphones going for
Oh yeah.
like 30 seconds, I was dying.
You know who didn't ask questions? Me at age 5.
Right,
Made
yeah.
total sense. And that's why I would never play it again. Because it all made sense. And then the world stopped making sense.
Yeah,
Darn it. And
I
all of
know.
a sudden I'm questioning why I'm feeding this giant blue guy bananas so he can jump on a platform and elevate a pig.
Yeah, it's so
That's cool.
strange. Oh man. Well, this has been an absolutely fantastic hour. Thank you so much for being here. I was so excited for this. Man, the hour just flew by. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been putting away bananas this whole interview.
No, I haven't paid any attention. Hell yeah, you have. And bananas, my favorite fruit. You know why that's true.
Yeah, you're just trying to be like your hero, DK.
That's awesome. No, you got a knack for it. Look, I ask people questions for a living and they never want to answer them. But I will say, you got a knack for it. It was seamless. It's a fun conversation.
Honestly, 90% of it was just letting you talk.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
That's how you get that, and that's the secret. If anybody wants to do sports interviews, just ask questions and shut up. And eventually, maybe you'll get them to say something interesting. For me, it's we're looking for a needle in a haystack. But for a lot of people, it's just ask questions and then stop. And there's no bad questions. Even if they get mad, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Some of the best sports interview bites were to a stupid question and they got mad. But you know what? They never play the question back. They just play back the angry athlete. So I'm telling you, all
That's
you gotta
fair.
do is ask questions, and you asked good ones.
It's
so
good content.
It was a blast.
No, thank you so much. Well, you know, you guys, obviously, you can catch Bad Street on Bad Street Show Mondays and Tuesdays, right?
Mondays and Fridays,
Mondays
usually.
and
Tuesday was a
Fridays,
fun
yeah.
thing.
Okay, yeah. Do you have anything big coming up you'd like to plug? Any
We're
big
getting back
events?
into it. So, you know, just hang out on Bad Street. Monday, we're starting our wrestling show again. We do 2 wrestling shows and a big pay-per-view with a big promo that I spent a lot of time editing. So just hang out with us on Mondays at 4 Eastern if you can. It is what I've been talking about. I'm just playing, and you are watching me play, and I'm just being selfish because I'm just goofing off.
It is
doing
legitimately one of the best shows on this website.
Oh,
I mean,
you're
honest to
way too good.
God,
This is-
it is just too. It's too good. I just the concept is too good. The execution is too good. Just all of it. It's just so goofy and so fun, man. I'm in awe of it, and your editing is really great too.
Thank you.
Like that inspired me to get into my own like editing and stuff. But yeah, I remember the one time I was looking for editing material and stumbled across like I stumbled across a video that you had commented on.
Because and what was I doing? I was picking a fight,
Yeah,
right?
he was.
Because
Yeah.
I was mad because I was working on your promo with Show Gundy,
Yeah.
and it was like free stock footage, and I clicked on it, and it was some lady picking up her dog.
Yeah.
So then I comment, "Oh, stock footage time! To pick up my dog," because I was angry and I was picking a fight. That's right. That's what you saw in my comment. Absolutely. Yeah.
I did, and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
is that Bad Street? That's Bad Street. I know that guy. That was
But
so
seriously,
awesome.
I've popped in and out of some of these before. It's a pleasure to be on it, and I don't want to preach to the choir here, but you found something special. I think when you ask people about the video games that matter the most to them, you learn something about someone that not a lot of people usually let out. So I think you found an amazing concept here, and I can't wait to
Thank
see
you.
where it goes next.
It says a lot. It says a lot. You know, your favorite game and how you played it even says a lot about, I think, who you are to this day. So I so appreciate that, man. Well, perfect. I'll let you go. Thank you so much for being here. I can't wait to catch the next one. Thank you guys so much. Bad Street, have a wonderful night.
God bless y'all. Thanks for having me.
And that was my interview with Bad Street about Donkey Kong 64. We talked a lot about how games that you played as a child shape you in the way that you see the world today. We also talked a lot about just playing games just to play, something that feels almost like a lost art in this world now. Make sure you come back next time when we sit down with Dex Effects and talk to him. Until that time, get out there and make some memories.